Only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard MyPillows, just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sale because right now, every order ships absolutely free. I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98.
All right, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Dish Network Channel 219, Pluto TV Channel 240, Samsung 1175, Samsung TV Plus, Roku TV, Apple TV. You can also watch the show on Amazon Fire as well as Select TV 106. Remember, as always, follow us on all of the socials: Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Kick, Getter, Instagram, and of course, LFS6B Show on Instagram. That's the only one that you have to do that for. LFS6B on all of the other socials. Of course, we'll be jumping into the chats as the show goes along. Again, on a Tuesday night, Damon's going to be joining us in hour number 2. So for now, you're stuck with the two Slicks. Or the two Ricks, I should say. One is Slick and one's just Rick. Slick Rick, how are you tonight?
Good evening, Rick. How are you?
I'm doing well. What's happening?
How was your day today?
Excuse me. It was all right. Thank you for asking. Doing a lot of running around. Of course, we get the text from Damon. I guess maybe I was napping when he sent the text that, hey, I need help. Can you guys cover the first hour? And then he starts freaking out that I didn't respond right away.
And you did, though, because you gave him the thumbs up.
Because I gave him the thumbs up, but I guess he doesn't respond to thumbs up.
He might have been driving. He had to run to an event, family situation.
Yes.
So he'll be in a little while, Big D. But he's with the family. That's most important. We'll cover him for an hour.
Right, exactly. In the meantime,
what's that?
What'd you say, Fred?
At least he told you guys because we had no idea.
Yeah, I told him at 7:25, Fran and Aaron, come on, let's go, Big D. He's not going to be here until 9 o'clock.
That's all right. We're going to hold down the show for the first hour. Of course, we'll be jumping into the chats as well throughout the first hour. Slick, anything you want to preview? Because I know we got sports coming up in the next segment.
Yeah.
Any stories sticking out to you today?
A couple of stories. Well, UFC legend sentences 5 years in prison. We're going to cover that story, of course.
I saw that, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Giants signed a big-name QB. Patriots signed a big-time wide receiver.
Really?
And I got to tell you, there's a lot more than cars just steering down old I-45 from Rodeo, Houston. Rick, we're going to get into that story, too. The Steers are running wild down I-45.
All right, very good. We've got a lot of news to cover, a lot of breaking news, of course, as it seems every single day out of this Trump administration, out of the White House. I guess there was more executive actions or more executive orders that were signed today. We'll cover some of that. We'll talk about Jasmine Crockett. Oh, boy. She's quite the honey and quite the actress. Maybe they should have hired her for the new Snow White movie because Snow White's not doing well at the box office.
I heard it's a dud.
Yeah. And, whatever. You go woke, you go broke, right, Disney?
That's it.
And then, of course, I think the one big story, though, that is still kind of permeating everything has to be the quote-unquote security leak.
Oh, yeah.
Regarding the military action against the Houthis over in the Middle East. Of course, we went over that story yesterday with all the players that were involved, from J.D. Vance and Mike Waltz, up and down the line, Pete Hegseth, Secretary of the Pentagon, head of the Pentagon, that outfit over there.
Yep.
All the people that were involved in that conversation, of course, that included somehow the Atlantic journalist Jeffrey Goldberg, added to that signal group, with the top Trump officials addressing these quote-unquote secret war plans. I guess that's now the big question, is whether these, I saw that headline somewhere, were these war plans classified or not classified? So we'll see how that is answered, but we do have an answer believe it or not, from the president. Here it is. I'll read this from Fox News. President Donald Trump is not planning to fire National Security Advisor Mike Waltz in the wake of the Atlantic's reporting of an apparent national security breach, according to Fox News. And again, that was I guess he was the one in charge of putting together the group to discuss everything regarding the Houthi strike. According to what this says here, Trump says he is not getting fired. The president said the incident was a mistake, though there was nothing important in the signal text thread. The president described Waltz as a good guy, and he added that the attack was a success, which it was, referring to the U.S. operation against the Houthis in Yemen. That was discussed on the text chain between the senior cabinet officials. A source close to the president previously said that Waltz's job is safe and that he is not on the chopping block, which is, you know what? I think part of it is Mike Waltz having to step up probably to take ownership of it with the president and say, look, this was on me. You know, whether I fat fingered, but maybe I just didn't check who JG was. It ended up that he ended up in the group. And, you know, and I think the president, Trump, is pretty forgiving as long as you don't lie to him.
Listen, Rick, we're a forgiving nation. I mean, have people made mistakes before in their job and not got fired and said, man, I dodged a bullet there, right? I mean, this didn't cause any catastrophe for the country, thank God, right? There was nothing major that occurred, right? No ramifications.
Like he said, the attack on the Houthis was a complete success.
So? I mean, you know, sometimes you got to move on, forget. But of course, the left, they won't forget anything. You know?
No. I mean, they don't want to remember the last 4 years where, of course, you had President Joe Biden declare it was a major success, the Afghanistan withdrawal,
that disaster,
which cost 13 American lives and more than, I believe, 40 or 50 others severely wounded from that attack. But they call that a complete success.
Yeah, they were dismissive on that.
Right, exactly. And the left will never, and the media will never talk about that because
they carry their water.
Why would they want to?
They run cover.
I mean, it shows them in the worst light possible. So yeah, and I think Slick, you're correct. We are forgiving. I mean, we're the nation of comebacks, right? How many times have you seen? And this president is the best example of a comeback story, right?
Example
from the loss, the quote unquote loss, steal.
Check the records.
2020, right? Back in 2020 to come barnstorming in 2024 and take the presidency right back. That's a comeback.
And how?
And that's what this nation is built upon. I mean, hey, George Washington, how many times did George Washington lose battles before they actually won the war?
No question.
Right?
Yep.
So we're a nation that's steeped in that tradition of, people making a mistake, causing a problem. Hey, they own up to it. They step up. They take it on. And, according to this, Mike Waltz's job is safe. We got a couple cuts from Mike Waltz from today's cabinet meeting. Here's cut number 6. Here he is on The Journalist and what they're doing to look into the breach. It's cut 6 from Mike Waltz.
Yes, Mr. President, you asked about lessons. I think there's a lot of journalists in this city who have made big names for themselves, making up lies about this president, whether it's the Russia hoax or making up lies about Gold Star families. And this one in particular, I've never met, don't know, never communicated with, and we are looking into and reviewing how the heck he got into this room.
Yeah. So there you have it from Mike Waltz. And if you notice, I mean, I probably would have done the same thing, full disclosure. When your butt is on the line in front of the president, of course, you're going to be like, these guys just trying to make a name. And of course, mentioning the fake stories about the president himself that this guy's responsible for.
It's good reference. Good reference.
And let's face it. Hey, he had to do a fair amount of, nuzzling up, butt kissing.
And he knows President Trump is a very relatable guy. President Trump could walk and read a room and relate to anybody in the room, from the janitor to the smartest person in the room, and that's what you do. You relate to the president. You speak his terms.
Well, not only that, but again, owning up to.
No question.
I'm sure behind closed doors, he was there with his hat in hand, saying, Mr. President, get rid of me if you want, and that probably impressed. That would impress. I think any boss would be like, look, that's everything went fine, everything's good. You learned your lesson. I believe that was one of the president's quotes, that he said he believes that Mike learned his lesson.
Yep.
I guess maybe he was, who knows? Maybe when they talked about it, he said, maybe I was a little too amped up to get everybody on and not really paying attention. You learn your lesson. Now you're going to go back and double check, triple check everything.
The timing of it wasn't good.
Right.
The whole thing, getting off the plane, it was the bad timing.
Right. So here's Mike Waltz again from today's cabinet meeting with the president and the other heads there. Cut number 7. Here he is on who's looking into the breach, and of course to the you could say a little bit more butt kissing for the president. Here's cut 7. Check this out.
We have our technical experts looking at it. We have our legal teams looking at it. And of course, we're going to keep everything as secure as possible. No one in your national security team would ever put anyone in danger. And as you said, and we've repeatedly said, the attack was phenomenal and it's ongoing. But the media wants to talk about everything else except for the hostages you're getting out of the Middle East, Iran on its back foot, sea lanes getting reopened, peace in Europe. As we just saw today with a Black Sea ceasefire, we were just on with Steve Witkoff, myself, our team in Saudi Arabia. They want to talk about all this other stuff except for your amazing successes and the successes of your team.
Yeah. And again, you got to stroke the ego, Mike. We get it. We understand.
They call that good business.
Exactly.
We call that.
And especially because he is right. I mean, we don't hear the CNNs, the CBSs, the mainstream, the deep state media talking about all the success that the administration has had thus far on the international stage. But man, oh man, you do a little something, you do just a little screw up. Oh, they're all over you like white on rice, and they don't let up. So good on the president and I believe this should put this thing to bed, right? Because once Trump says, you know what, we're looking into it. He's a good man. His job is not on the line. I trust him. We're moving on. There you go. What are you going to do? Is the mainstream media all they're going to do? Are they going to keep rotating backwards now in time? Be like, but it's like, wait, we've already addressed this. It's over with. What are your next questions?
They're waiting for the next shiny object. They'll chase that once that comes up. You know that,
right? According to this, more from the article, senior White House official earlier revealed how Goldberg may have been added to the signal text with the cabinet officials. The official said he'd never met or never spoken to Goldberg. Somehow Goldberg's number was added as one of the members on the list, noting that Signal is allowed in multiple agencies. That's another thing I heard about, too, the Signal app. When these guys walked in, and they get presented with all their stuff, this Signal app is already installed on what's given to them. So it's something that I guess is a standard used throughout the government, for these types of things. So, last night when we were wondering, why would they use Signal? You would think they'd have something more, more centralized to themselves, more secure. Right. But I guess they've determined that this is a good method for them. I don't know if they're thinking that today.
Maybe rethinking
it, yeah. But, you chalk it up to a mistake. And, some people, of course, the left, the Democrats want somebody fired over this. How many people have completely destroyed the last 4 years of this nation under the Biden administration and got promoted? And got lauded for it.
And nobody got fired, by the way, right? Fired. Remember that?
20
want to fire the first guy, boom,
20 plus million illegals running across the border, being flown in. Nobody got fired for that. This was a simple wrong guy on the call. Nothing bad happened as a result of it. We move on. The president says, all good to me. He's a great guy. We're moving on.
Yep.
That should be the end of it. So there you have it. We'll do some sports. Look's got some big stories coming up. We'll do some more news live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Stay there. We're jumping in the chat. Stay there. Live in the chat. How are you?
Super chat, YouTube, right away.
Already got a super chat already?
Yeah, William, no relation to Andy Kaufman. $2. We are back, and it's a great feeling. It is a great feeling, Andy. It is. Andy Kaufman? No, William Kaufman. $2 from William Kaufman. Thank you very much. That's in the YouTube's chat. I think that's the only one we got so far.
Very nice. Howdy, Rumblers. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Let's see who's in there. Let's see. We got Big Ball D's. Big Balls D's Nut 6. Of course, number 6. It's the first 5 you got to look out for. Let's see. Great Googly Moogly, as always, is in there. Drake 99 is in there. Billerite 1776. Pillis Tyus Tapas is in there. Marty Kuhn over in the Rumble chat. Everybody having a good time. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining us in these chats. I'm going to jump over to Twix real quick and say hey there. Slick is going to have some sports coming up.
Chat.
Hey, Slick, is this the first time we're doing like an entire hour? I know we've done like one segment together.
I think I feel like we've done an hour before. Yeah.
Have we? Okay. I know we've never done a full show.
Well, I just got to I just pull the string and let you go, and I jump in when I can, so you're good. You don't have to worry.
I think you covered a full hour before we jumped to an event.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Right.
But it was like one of those crazy
Did anybody jump at the event, Fran?
Anybody get pushed?
They got pushed outside a window.
Just trying to pull up the Twix chat. All right. Howdy, Twixers. Farmer Brook is in there. Put on a suit. Tree Finder. Radman 24.
My man.
Gary Haas. The real Bruce Lee. Howdy, the real Bruce Lee. Rhonda's in there. Sofa King Nuts 22, of course. As the first 21 were taken. Commander Mike. Jolene Moore. And how much time? I don't have time to get over to the YouTubes.
Also, hello to Getter, Kick, and Facebook. I don't have enough time and screens to look at everybody.
Yeah, Fran. We keep Fran busy.
That's the truth. No denying that.
Now, Erin, on the other hand, she gets to do whatever the hell she wants.
I don't think so.
I'm kidding, of course. I inundate her with crap. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Damon's going to be joining us at the top of the next hour. In the meantime, you're stuck with Slick and Rick here from Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, on a Tuesday night. Remember to jump into the chats and say hello. A lot of great people are always in there. Becky Snyder's in the YouTube chat. Jesus Perez, Broke Spoke, of course. Lori Lombardo. Just shouting as many people as we can. Les Durham is also in there as well. So, if you're in there and you're watching us on one of the socials, we appreciate that, of course. As always, we got some more news coming up. I got some great stuff. We got some Trump clips because today was a big day in terms of executive orders. There was one that I didn't see coming. I kind of forgot about it. But didn't see coming, and it was kind of a surprise to me today. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But let's do sports right now. It's Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow.com. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code LFS6B. At checkout, save yourself big money on some good stuff. You know what? I have to buy some stuff from Mike, so I'm going to be busy probably in the next couple days ordering stuff.
Stop buying now for Mother's Day. They're going to run out of certain things.
Yeah. You can, hey, you know what? Maybe your kid wants a new pillow for Easter. Easter's coming. You could do that. So make sure you take advantage of it. LFS6B at checkout. Save yourself some great money.
What kid's going to want a pillow for Easter? Come on, Delgado.
My mom needs a new pillow. Maybe I'll get her a pillow
that's
for
different.
Easter.
No kids waking up, I hope the Easter Bunny left me a nice pillow under the bed there. Come on. Maybe an Easter Bunny pillow. Yeah, okay.
Well, you don't know. You know what? You're a hater.
That sounds like a Tooth Fairy story.
It is.
Let's
All
go.
right. Slick, what do you got with sports?
All right, well, let's get to some of the NFL transactions, some big ones. Free agency still on fire. Giants here. Free agent Russell Wilson agrees to deal with the Giants. This is Jordan Renan of ESPN, East Rutherford, New Jersey. The New York Giants reached an agreement with Super Bowl winning quarterback Russell Wilson on a one-year deal worth up to $21 million, which is a bargain for a quarterback nowadays, including $10.5 million guaranteed, sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter on Tuesday. The 10-time Pro Bowl selection had been in discussions with the Giants, Cleveland Browns, and Pittsburgh Steelers, but it is opting for New York, where he won Super Bowl 58 in MetLife Stadium as a member of the Seattle Seahawks. Now Wilson is returning as the Giants' projected starting quarterback. The agreement between Wilson and the Giants eliminates New York as a potential option this season for Aaron Rodgers, told Schefter. By the way, that's Super Bowl 48. Let's go back a few years. It also leaves Rodgers and the Steelers, Wilson's former team, in a position to work out their own agreement if the quarterback decides he wants to play this season. That's the $21 million question around the league. Is Aaron Rodgers just going to finally hang it up?
Right.
Which I think most feel after his closing out with the Jets. You could blame the Jets line and a lot of injuries and coaching issues, but a lot of it you could see the wear and tear on Rodgers. I think it might be time to kind of say goodbye. Kind of reminds me of Johnny Unitas towards the end of his career, in the early 70s when he really was a mere shell of himself.
Right.
And it was time for him to retire.
You know what, though? I don't think he's going to go out like that.
No, he's going to go out on a shield.
I think he wants to go out as, as his what people know him as a winning quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't want... let's face it. If you've played sports, you've done it too. You don't want to go out as your last game being the worst game you ever played, or just just limping away, right?
No,
and the fact that now he's got a year under his belt in terms of healing the Achilles, he might come back a little bit more mobile and agile. You never know.
He could.
And if,
it's got to be in the right system. Cleveland Browns,
exactly.
That's not the right system. I mean, he's running for his life. Steelers got a little bit better team. They got a little upside to them. They're always competitive. He would have a good shot. Looking around the league, who else needs a quarterback?
I think the Warriors, right? Because didn't Derek Carr throw his hat into looking around?
Derek Carr's looking around, but I think he's going to end up signing with the Saints. That might be the right system for him. But we'll see. I mean, look, that's why they call it free agency. And then before you know it, 1 month from now, it'll be the NFL draft. Boy, it moves really quick, right? I think it's the 24th or 25th of April. And staying on the NFL, Rick, Stephon Diggs, another great receiver coming off a big injury, agrees to a 3-year, $69 million deal with the Patriots. ESPN, again, on the report here. 4-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Stephon Diggs and the New England Patriots reached an agreement Tuesday on the 3-year, $69 million deal that includes $26 million guaranteed, according to Adam Schefter. Diggs, 31, suffered a season-ending ACL injury in Week 8 while with the Houston Texans, but is on track to return for Week 1 of the upcoming season, a source told ESPN. I got to tell you, Houston looked really good towards the end of the year there, and when Diggs went down, man, that was a devastating injury. Kind of just took it all off track for them.
Right.
But Diggs, well, we'll see what happens now. Texans, that was C.J. Stroud, of course. He had a great season as well. But we'll see what happens with the Patriots. I mean, got a new coach, right? Mike Vrabel's going to town, former Patriot coming back. Aaron and I were talking about it before the show, and she thinks it might give him a shot in the arm. She hopes it doesn't because she's obviously rooting for her Jets. But, we don't know what's going to happen. So really crazy stuff. And if I could stay on sports a little longer, burn a few more minutes here before Big D gets here. Well, UFC legend Cain Velasquez sentenced to 5 years in prison for shooting. And I know, Rick, you sent me a story earlier today as well. In fact, this is the story. This is Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart. 2-time UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez has been handed a 5-year prison sentence after being convicted of a shooting incident back in 2022. Velasquez was found guilty on attempted murder charges after he engaged in a high-speed car chase and then fired shots at Harry Goulardi, who was accused of sexually molesting Velasquez's 4-year-old son.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying here.
And
on multiple occasions.
You know what?
According to Yahoo Sports.
I don't agree with him, opening fire because it was kind of reckless the way he was doing it. But I understand. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you.
4-year-old son.
Yep.
I'm surprised he even bothered with a gun. Why he didn't just grab this guy and just maybe put some moves on him. That's all I'm saying.
I think
show him what he used to do for a living.
That could have been the grace of God that he used a gun in his hands, because they would have destroyed the guy.
Exactly.
He wouldn't be able to walk. But the guy doesn't deserve to walk. And I don't know. You'd have to really searched far and long to find a father that wouldn't have taking a matter like that into his own hands. Certainly I would have. And I don't even have kids. And Santa Clara County, California Superior Court Judge Arthur Bocanero presided over the case that has been winding through the courts for 3 years, during which Velasquez was found guilty on 10 firearms counts. But the judge also expressed much sympathy for Velasquez over his desire to protect his child. So there was that element as well. I mean, look, he could have given him 15 years, right? The former UFC champ had expressed remorse for trying to take justice into his own hands. What I did was not correct, Velasquez said on a podcast with Kyle Kingsbury. I understand that. I paid, and I'll pay whatever else as far as what I have to do to pay all that back. I don't think I can pay that back, but I can always learn from my mistakes and help others. It's just information that you never know anybody. Trust your kids. Have that open communication with your kids. He added, the way that I handled things was not the way to do it. We cannot put the law in our own hands. The 5-year sentence was reduced by the 1,283 days already served. Goularte is also standing trial after being accused of lewd acts with a minor. He pleaded not guilty to the charges. So, quite a crazy story. Great fighter too, by the way. He was one of a great heavyweight champion too. But yeah, Rick, that's an interesting story to say the least.
And it's disgusting. This guy actually gets to walk around. Again, you know what? I totally identify with what this guy's must have felt, because take a look if you want to get a feeling of it, and people that have had have kids know this, but just if you're just walking around and you don't have kids and walk around a store and you see a four-year-old little kid walking around, and think about some old man trying to do some, and if that doesn't make your blood boil, then you have a mental problem, because you don't even have to know the kid, be related to him, to say, you know what, I like you, Slick, you'd probably step up and say, get your hands off that kid.
Like this entire audience that watches this show. We know exactly. A lot of the folks that watch our show. And I know what everybody's thinking right now.
Totally unacceptable.
Yes.
Cain Velasquez, all the power to you, man. Hope you make it through.
He'll get
through okay. And, know you've got a lot of people saying, I'd have done the same damn thing. All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll do some news. We got more sports up later on in the hour. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Stay there. All right, chat. We are live in the chat. Howdy there, YouTubers. Just getting over to the YouTube chats. Just want to see what everybody's saying. Man, you know what? Did I hit the wrong? I hit the wrong one. Sorry, rumblers.
Hey, I
thought I was on the YouTubes.
I'm on the YouTube. I'm going to play Big D for a moment.
My thing flipped on me.
Can I play Big D for a moment?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, here we go. Andrew Keach, new name to the chat. Haven't seen this guy. Sports sucks. How about some real news? Come on, Delgado. Shut him down. Sports sucks. How about some real news?
Stop.
Come on, Delgado. Shut him down. Man, a little repetitive there, my friend. So, Andrew Keach, tune in.
I'm seeing some of the people responding to this. Yeah. You know what? A lot of you would do the same thing.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. That's all I'm going to say.
Oof. Yeah, that was some story, really.
Yeah, it makes you angry because you walk around, you see little kids, and they're the most innocent. Them and puppies. You see little kids and puppies. Little boys, little girls, and puppies, and it's like these are the most innocent creatures you can imagine. And
I know.
It makes my blood boil when you hear about any of them. Being abused.
And imagine that kid, what he's got to, rest of his life, they got to deal with that. That's the real sin.
Yeah.
That's the real sin.
Let's hope that he forgets about it, that he's young enough to forget about it.
Hope so.
Because that's one of those things, man.
Yeah, but unfortunately, then the story with the shooting, and we're reading about it now, it's going to be on the internet. These kids today, it's very hard to insulate them because of social media and all that's out there. And But regardless, you know what?
Yeah, very true.
I wouldn't even want to tell you what my father would have did. It would have been over for that guy. I promise you that.
Well, believe me, if Velasquez would have gotten a hold of him,
it would have been over.
It was a car chase. That's the crazy part.
I know.
Imagine if it wasn't a car chase, if it was a confrontation one-on-one, it would have been over for him.
I remember the story, but I don't remember all the details that came out afterwards, but I remember the chase and the whole bit.
So in a way, I think it probably served that guy good that it was a car chase, because if it was a foot race, he'd have been caught. And I don't think we'd be having this conversation about him, standing trial. There would have been a procession for that guy.
Dead man tells no tales.
Right, exactly.
Case,
What do we got? Oh, we're about to go back on.
Come on.
We're about to go back on.
All right.
Live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Welcome to the program. Slick Rick is here. He's got sports, and he's going to be chiming in a lot with the news of the day. Of course, Damon's going to be joining us in hour number 2, and of course, you guys in the chat, we appreciate you jumping on and joining us. A lot of stuff to get to, a lot of things breaking. Of course, like I said at the top of the show, there's always something new coming from the Trump administration and the Trump presidency. I've got a lot of that stuff coming up. We've got some stuff on Jasmine Crockett, who is quite the actress, and I'll show you what I mean a little bit later on in the show. But this coming from CNN right here. CNN, Harry Enton. We play a lot of his clips. I couldn't find this one for today, but Harry Enton is freaking out because Americans who think the country is on the right track under Trump is going through the roof. And that must drive the people on the left crazy.
Sure it is.
CNN senior data reporter Harry Enton said earlier today on CNN's News Central that the percentage of Americans who believe the country is on the right track is through the roof in President Trump's second term. Again, that's not something you're going to see on ABC, CBS, NBC. Normally, you won't see that on CNN outside of Harry Enton or MSNBC or the New York Times, Washington Post.
Washington Post.
Enton said, all we talk about is how unpopular Donald Trump is. And again, he acknowledges that's all they cover outside of what he does because he deals with numbers. But in reality, he's basically more popular than he was at any point in term number 1 and more popular than when he won the election just a few months ago, back in November 2024. What are we talking about? He says his set of favorable rating right now comes in at -4 points. Compare that to where it was November 2024, and it was -7, or March 2017 when it was -10. So when you compare Trump against himself, he's actually closer to the apex than he is to the bottom of the trough. And of course, that's so important because Donald Trump, historically speaking, has had his numbers underestimated. So they admit that they underestimate him on purpose. The bottom line is the American people say we are on the right track. Those numbers are through the roof. If you want to compare it to when presidents have historically been reelected, of course, Trump is not constitutionally eligible to run for re-election, but I think it sort of puts it in perspective. A lot of the country says the country is on the right track when the incumbent party is reelected. So there you have it.
President, he's taking numbers and he's not taking prisoners this time.
Yeah,
that's the big difference. That's exactly what's happening with him.
And again, it's something that he wasn't able to do in the first term.
No, of course not.
Because I think, being a little green to politics and how things are run. And
staring down potentially 8 years of re-election. No re-election this time.
Right.
Big difference. I know I'd feel that way.
And not only that, but all the backstabbing going on from the bureaucracy inside of Washington that was already there, that was entrenched, kind of made it difficult that first term. Got a lot of stuff done, but I think that 4-year break where we really got to sit back and watch, everybody got to see what Democrats are really like, right, Slick?
Oh, yeah.
What they show us?
Slime. Yeah, well, they show us they're backstabbers. They're slime. You can't trust them. You know, I mean, everything you can imagine. I mean, well, listen. Unfortunately, we had a few on the right side too. There, some rhinos. He picked out those guys too.
Yeah.
Believe me, he's eyeing them up. Plus, look, he really set up his own team this time.
Yeah.
Last time he kind of, this guy's good. This guy, he didn't know. It's like anything. You walk into your first day on the job. You know what? You don't really know who to trust. Can you trust that girl making my coffee? Can you trust this guy here to keep the bathroom door locked?
Right.
Stupid things like that. I mean, much higher level for the president, of course. But what I'm saying is that, he really didn't know what he was walking into. You know the old saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And one thing he's not going to have is shame on him. That's how I feel.
Yeah, exactly. And because one of those people that he relied on heavily early on in the first term was Chris Christie. Remember him?
Yeah, Krispy Kreme there.
Yeah, he pointed him towards, if you're going to get rid of Comey, you got to bring in this guy.
What a bum he turned out to be.
And Chris Christie turned out to be exactly the opposite of what Trump needed him to be.
Yeah.
Right? He turned into an inflated Mitch McConnell, who was basically, he was establishment, bureaucrat. Yeah. You pick this guy. He's great. He's not great.
Oh, and let us not forget Vice President.
Right. Mike Pence.
Mike Pence,
who again, everybody was, and during his time, I think he served most of the vice presidency well, but when push came to shove, he went right to, right where his bread was buttered, right?
He flipped.
He went, I got to go back to my guys here who are going to take care of me.
It was a
make sure
this type of situation, right?
Yeah.
Beware the Ides of March.
Right.
That's what that was.
So now President Trump has been empowered, been emboldened, got to see the playing field. Right? Got to see all the players. Yep. Look at all the disasters they've created, pointing them out to the American people to say, look what they're doing. Look what they're doing. You got 9% inflation. You didn't have that under me.
That's right.
You have all this crap going on. You got 2 wars breaking out, not because of me. And now he's in cleaning it all up.
That's right.
People don't like to admit it, but there is a lot of positives still going on as the administration still very, very early on in the second term. Getting things done, which is exceedingly impressive. Here is Donald Trump. And again, we talked about some executive orders. This is the one that really got me, and I think this probably sent some shockwaves through D.C. and through the bureaucracy and through the FBI and the DOJ as well. This is cut number 3. He talks about declassifying Slick the Crossfire Hurricane documents. Cut number 3. Check this out.
Next, sir, we have a presidential memorandum for your attention. This memorandum requires the immediate declassification of all FBI files relating to the Crossfire Hurricane investigation. This was obviously one of the instances of the weaponization of law enforcement powers of prosecution against you and others. We believe that it's long past time for the American people to have a full and complete understanding of what exactly is in those files.
Which gives the media the right to go in and check it. You probably won't bother because you're not going to like what you see.
Yeah, exactly.
But this was total weaponization. It's a disgrace. Should never happen in this country. But now you'll be able to see for yourselves, all declassified. Is that correct? Would you say? All declassified?
Yes, sir.
Everything?
The FBI file with there's a classified annex, but other than that, we'll put everything in the public eye.
How soon?
Is anybody going to look? What about you? You going to look?
Better believe it.
I love it. He's challenging the media. The media is right there. He's going to challenge them.
Frankly, the FBI should be ashamed of themselves, and so should the Department of Justice, and so should Biden.
Yeah. So there you have it. Crossfire Hurricane declassified all the documents relating to that investigation. We'll see what comes out of it, because Biden was one of the key drivers.
Yes, he was. That's
in
why
that,
he said that,
along with what was that guy's name? He's married to Big Mike. Barack Hussein Obama. That's right. We'll see what comes of that, along with James Comey. A lot of people probably very, very nervous right now. So hopefully this will bear fruit for us, and maybe we'll see some. I would say we'll definitely see investigation. I want to see some arrests.
Yeah,
I think so. I mean, that could be considered treason.
Yes, it would.
Right?
Absolutely.
I'm just saying. I'm just
Something to
spitballing.
see that.
Throwing it out loud.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see that. Maybe we'll see some people, some high-level people in bracelets.
True.
Maybe a 6 a.m. raid.
We'll see.
With Real America's Voice there to capture it all on film.
And on that note, I have to ask you.
Yeah.
Any updates on the Epstein file today?
I had a big one yesterday.
What do we
Here's
have?
a follow-up. Remember, we played that clip yesterday where Pam Bombay talked about it. Mm-hmm. Here's the follow-up. I found this today. Check this out.
0.
Okay, so, yes, that's the follow-up?
That's it. Crickets.
Correct. On Epstein. Look, man, I got to hold out hope. I'm holding out hope.
Yeah, well,
we
you
get
and
to
Paul
see
said
something.
It's going to take a little time, right? What are you guys?
I
Where's
know.
Paul on? You're on May?
Paul's on 6 months. I'm more in the 3 months where I want to see some names.
So you're like May, June.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's coming up. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Well, don't worry. Big D will be asking you every night.
Exactly. Here is President Trump. Speaking of President Trump today at the White House, here he is taking some questions about the executive orders and what he thinks. Cut number 10. Check this out.
Mr. President, some senators have expressed hope that the White House will support a rescission package to codify some of the DOJ cuts into law. Where does the White House stand on that? And are you making progress on
package?
a rescission package to codify some of the DOJ cuts into law?
Yeah, well, it would be great. I think we're going to do that. I think they're going to do it. I think we're also going to be codifying a lot of the executive orders that we've done, which have been very popular. And we're looking at one, I will tell you right now, that I think perhaps will be controversial, but not with the people, and that's sanctuary cities. We're going to end sanctuary cities for some of these jurisdictions that aren't cooperating with law enforcement. They're guarding criminals. They're taking the rights away from the citizens of this state and their city. And we're going to be ending sanctuary cities if we find it necessary to do in certain major areas, and we may just end the entire thing altogether because it's just a way of protecting criminals, and nobody else is benefited by that. And for some reason, Democrats want to keep and they want to shield criminals from being sent back to their countries or being sent to prison. And in the meantime, the crime rate has gone through the roof. Under Biden, it was through the roof. It's starting to come down, but we're taking a lot of people out of here. So we may be presenting you very shortly with a executive order ending sanctuary cities.
Yeah. So there you have it. Talking about making these executive orders actually laws, which would make it a lot harder, virtually impossible for the next president if it becomes a Democrat at some point down the road, hopefully 20 years down the road, of changing, these policies, which seem to be working very well. And like I mentioned earlier from CNN's Harry Enton, Americans think the country is on the right track. You want to see what Bernie Sanders had to say about all this, Slick?
Not really, but go ahead.
All right. Let's go with Bernie Sanders. Here he is, cut number 5 on what Trump has done. Cut 5.
Is there anything that you think Trump has done right?
Yeah. I think cracking down on fentanyl, making sure our borders are stronger. Look, nobody thinks that illegal immigration is appropriate.
Wow. Oh my goodness, Bernie.
I stand corrected.
He could be getting canceled next if he doesn't watch it. Oh my goodness, Bernie Sanders. Here is President Trump talking about Bernie Sanders. Cut number 4.
I watched a certain newscast over the weekend, and a Democrat congressman said, well, Trump's done a lot. I agree. He's been great on the border. He's been great on the military. But, he hasn't brought prices down. That's false. Gasoline's way down. Eggs are way down. Groceries are down very substantially, but down. Almost everything's down. Now, I'd like to see interest rates come down a little bit. And you're going to see billions of dollars, even trillions of dollars coming into our country very soon in the form of tariffs, because we were abused by presidents. And frankly, in all fairness, it wasn't their expertise, but they had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah, there you have it. Telling it like it is, and of course paying attention to what the other side of the aisle is saying, referencing Bernie Sanders and what he said. And one thing that's important too, when he talks about gas being down, I think the national average now it's down to $2.50. Pay attention to that, because as that number starts to creep down, guess what happens? Everything else will follow suit. Why? Because it all has to do with energy. energy. It takes energy to move your products, get your products to and from the shelves. The people that are putting together these products takes them energy, fuel, you name it, electricity and gas and oil.
Fuels everything.
Exactly. So as those numbers start to come down, you'll see other numbers start to come down.
Drill, baby, drill.
Yeah, exactly. It's all attitude and it's all energy. We'll take a quick break. We come back. We'll do some more sports. Live from Studio 6B. Stay there.
I want to go to the YouTube.
I'm glad that you were pleasantly surprised.
I was very surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know what the rest of the tape was, but we'll stop at that and leave it there.
Actually, there was some other positive stuff, but it came too much longer. I didn't want to inundate us with I know, with Bernie Sanders
or me. All right, I'm going to wait to do the rodeo when Big D gets here.
Okay,
he'll get a kick out of that. Let's see. Let me get some scores. Gotta get to some scores. We haven't done any scores yet. Some scores. Come on. No super chats so far. Don't say much for us. We had the one super chat, right?
Yeah.
That was it.
At the top of the show. It was really early on.
William Kaufman, $2. Man, we can get a slice. We can't even get a slice of pizza for that.
Not anymore.
Oh, Lynn Desch in the chat. Italian beef pizza with garlic sausage and jardiniere. Oh, jardiniere's a little grass there on there, huh? A little jardiniere.
Something like that. Chat, live in the chat. Let me check what we're doing. Over in the Rumble, 3 Tesla terrorists sentenced. I don't know if they were sentenced yet, RX Lefty, but I know they were caught, and they are facing up to 20 years, so that's a positive.
Super chat, Rick, from YouTube. Christine Kane, $1.99. Thank you, Christine Kane. That's love. You see, they give us a nice chat. Nice chat, super chat.
Yes.
We appreciate that. Rickster 425. All Ricks all night. I love that one. Come on, man, Rickster.
The girlies love it, Slick.
Yep, 2 Ricks are better than 1.
That's
We're in the break. I could have fun. I said
yourself.
Ricks.
I know. Speak for yourself.
Yeah. We have a $2 rant over on Rumble from JBSX.
Oh, thank you.
I see it. Let me grab it. Yep, JBSX $2 rant. We could try and start a $2 trade.
$1.99. I have 47.45. Wait a minute, another one.
JBSX. We could try and start a $2 train. So there you go.
Randy Gottlieb, $20 on the YouTube for the super chat. Thank you, Randy. Come on.
Big Balls D's Nuts 6 says, I want to see somebody raid Obama's house.
John Lavoie, $5.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's your slice. Here's your slice.
Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Damon's going to be joining us in hour number 2. The first hour, you've been subject to the 2 Ricks, as Slick likes to put it. 2 are always better than 1, right?
Yes, sir. Amen.
We've got some great stuff we got to cover still in hour number 2. I was talking to you. I mentioned about the Jasmine Crockett. She's been she's like the Jelly of the Month Club, Slick. Yeah. If you remember Christmas Vacation, she's the gift that just keeps on giving all year long. So we'll be covering her in the next hour. She's had some spicy things to say for a Texas-born actress. Did I call her actress? Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
I'll point out why a little bit later. Also, we've got some other stuff from HUD Secretary Scott Turner, who made some big news today as well, so we'll get to that. But right now, let's do some sports with Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Save big money on some great stuff from Mike and the great people at MyPillow.com. Slick, what do you got for us?
All right, well, Rick, to the NHL we go, and we are sliding and slipping right into the home stretch here because playoffs are just around the corner. Season wraps up in about 3 weeks, so a lot on the line here, playoff implications, wild card positions. So here we go. Right now, Senators and Sabres tied at 2, end of 2. Maple Leafs all over the Flyers, 6-2, end of 2 as well. Middle is second, 2 to go there. 2 minutes to go in the second, excuse me. Lightning bombing the Penguins, 5-0 there. Predators over the Hurricanes, 2-1, end of 2. End of the first, the Blues over the Canadiens, 2-1 there. Golden Knights lead the Wild 1-0 at the end of 1. Also end of 1. Caps and Jets tied at 1. Red Wings taking on the Avalanche out in Colorado, 9 p.m. puck drop. Also 9 p.m. puck drop in Calgary. Kraken and Flames. Rangers on the West Coast tonight, Rick, as well. They're taking on the Kings in the Crypto.com Arena at 10:30. NBA tweet, here we go. Magic right now trailing the Hornets by 2, 80-78, 1 minute and 23 seconds to go in the third. End of the third, Spurs lead the Pistons 69-88. The Heat over the Warriors 57-40 at the half. Also at the half, Knicks and Mavs in a good one. All tied at 68 in the Garden. Well, I hope Tracy Morgan didn't get any of that. Come on, skip the concessions, Tracy.
Come on, leave Tracy alone. He's been through some stuff.
Yeah, well,
I love the Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, well, just hope he's careful there. Hawks are getting smoked by the Rockets, 43-26, 7 to go there in the second. Grizzly Jazz, Cavs, Trailblazers, Thunder, and Kings, 10 p.m. respective tip-offs there. And, we're going to get to March Madness, of course, kicking off on Thursday night. I'll do a little preview tomorrow night, Wednesday night, on the games for Thursday and Friday. The Sweet 16 on tap, Rick. So it should be a lot of fun this weekend. Great basketball for the 4 days. And, well, that'll give us a real good idea where we're going in the March Madness. So really start getting fired up as we go to the Elite 8 from the Sweet 16. And then from the Elite 8 to what? The Final Four, which is what the tournament's all named after.
Yep.
We can't wait for that either. All right, let me get to just one quick story while we're on that subject. UConn staffer threatened to ruin reporter's life over viral Dan Hurley video.
Really?
The UConn Huskies coach Dan Hurley, right? Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart, a media staffer for the University of Connecticut, UConn, reportedly threatened to ruin a reporter's life after the journalist shot video of UConn head coach Dan Hurley in a foul-mouthed tirade after the team lost to Florida on Sunday. I got to watch my bleeps here. Hope they don't bleep you like they bleeped us, Hurley shouted toward the Baylor Bears as they prepared to take the floor following UConn's loss. Efforts were made to keep the video from going viral or getting posted at all. After Hurley's outburst, UConn Director of Men's Basketball Communications Bobby Mullen reportedly confronted Ellis and asked him to delete the video. Then Mullen reportedly threatened to ruin his reporter's life, and this would be Charlotte Sports Live reporter Joey Ellis that was threatened. And the video not only made it to the internet, it went viral, prompting Mullen to lash out at the reporter in a statement. The lasting image of Coach Hurley leaving the court should have been his walking off the court arm in arm with his seniors, overwhelmed with emotion, Mullen said. Instead, a reporter who was in the area, he should not have been recorded on his cell phone, a private comment made to members of another coaching staff. Well, but Rick, all's fair in love and war in the world of X and video today. You got to watch your mouth where you are. And, hey, I got to admit, I could be Slick Rick, I could be a bit of a hothead too. When I lose, I get a little upset. I get a little spicy.
You get a little spicy there, Slick.
It's the heat of the moment. I mean, what's on the line for this guy? They were the defending national champions. They just lost. Yeah, two-time. And they must have felt and we know he was a great competitor when he was a player as well as a kid, but in school. But the bottom line was, you're in the heat of the moment. You're coming off the court. You probably didn't like a few calls there towards the end of the game. Maybe Florida got a little break there. I think overall they were the better team anyway. Quite frankly.
Yeah, they exploited their opportunities. They took advantage of UConn's UConn had some missteps in the last couple minutes.
And they
had the lead of the game, and they let it slip.
And they were the 8th seed for a reason. And they didn't really have a great season. I think they kind of left themselves a little bit when they were in that tournament in Maui earlier in the year. We were talking about them in February.
Also, last year they had like 3 or 4 starters go in the draft. They're not going to be the same team the next year. It's simple as that.
Well, that's always the case. Yeah, sure. It's hard to hold on to those guys, especially a lot of guys leave early too. Some of these guys don't even make it to their junior and senior year. They pull them out as freshmen and sophomores nowadays. Some of this talent, which is incredible.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. It's unclear where in Mullen's extensive journalism training he was taught to ruin reporters' lives. In any event, Mullen's boss Dan Hurley is known as not one of the most passionate and explosive coaches in college basketball. It appears his staff cut from the same bolt of cloth. So his staff was just trying to run cover for their captain there, for their coach. But It's it. Welcome to the world of social media. Much different sports world today.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Rick. That's a wrap in sports. Back to you.
And again, Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout and save yourself a ton of money. And again, with Hurley, I think it's a testament to his coaching that his team actually almost won that game.
They came close.
I think everybody was like, UConn's going to get blown out, and they didn't get blown out. They almost won that game. So you gotta hand it to the coach. The only reason that was a close game, I think, was because of his coaching.
I know.
So
I'm glad they didn't, because I got the Gators in my final team, man.
I got the Gators winning it all.
That would have busted my bracket.
I have a chance to move up from like 453 up into the 300s. Ooh. It's going to be awesome if I can do that. I'm already in front of Damon.
I just want to get into the 60s and 70s. I'd be so happy if I crack the top 100, which I'm close. We'll see. I'm going to be relying on those Gators.
All right. Well, Slick, thanks for the sports. Hey, real quick, I don't know if you saw this. President Donald Trump, again, breaking news coming out of the White House, decided to pardon someone. Former Hunter Biden business associate Devin Archer, who went to jail last year, who provided bombshell testimony to House investigators about how Hunter included then Vice President Joe Biden on a number of calls with business associates. Now, I wonder why the president would pardon this guy. White House Staff Secretary Will Scharf gave an overview of the pardon before Trump signed it. He was prosecuted relating to a fraud investigation, but notably the tone and tenor of the prosecution changed dramatically after he began to cooperate with congressional investigators and serve as a witness against Hunter Biden and the Biden family. According to this, we believe this was an injustice, which is why I guess it led to, and again, there's ramifications here. Will he be called upon as a witness in a case in the future, in an investigation in the future? We'll have to see. I believe because of the pardon, now he doesn't have to worry. He can't plead the fifth, which I think is a huge thing. But according to this, Trump said Archer was a victim and noted that many have called on him to pardon the former Biden associate. So that is exactly what he did. And we'll see with the release now of the declassification of the Crossfire Hurricane documents.
Yes, that's amazing today.
More with now with Devin Archer being released.
Yep.
Pam Bondi yesterday talking about going after the corruption of the people in the government. Maybe this is setting things up. Will he be called? Will he be part of some investigation into someone named with the last name of Biden? I guess we'll find out.
Oh, I don't know.
But it seems to be setting up. I need to get popcorn. I think we all need. We all need, when it comes to this administration, to get popcorn. Things are happening.
Yes, they are.
Hopefully for the right reasons too.
They are.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Quick first hour. Hour number 2 on the way, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there. We'll jump in the chats and say hey.
Big D's in the car on the way. Hold on now. Come on. I think we got some more super chats here. Let's see. Mrs. D, thank you. $20. Very nice. And Randy Gottlieb, we got you right at the end there. So, Randy, maybe I got cut off when I mentioned your name. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Ringing them up. Thank you very much. We really do appreciate that. Ron and Norma Klein. Now, Ron and Norma, good friends of the show. Love them. And $4.99. You made us feel bad. No, I wasn't shilling for money. I just, hey, we got to look good in front of Big D. I don't want them to think, I leave these guys alone and nobody's sending them any love. What do we have? We got 1,000 people in the YouTube chat, so that's good. Rick will get into the Rumble chat in a second. He runs that one, and he'll get back to some friends over there. We'll check X as well. Big D will be joining us shortly. Richard, member for 1 month. Very nice. And Sue Sabalborough. Yeah, spicy slick. Yeah, get a little spicy one. I got a little fun. And good stuff. We got a lot of good friends here. Big D, he's on his way here. On my way, Big D. I think he's heading to the home studio, so we'll see. But either way, it will be good to have him come on the show as well. Oh, Big D's going for ice cream. May not come on. He may not be on too quick. He's going to Carvel. Hey, Rick, he's going to pick up some of those flying saucers from Carvel. You know, Rick, he loves those flying saucers. And, well, let's see what else we got going on. Maria France, thank you very much. $4.99 super chat. I'm bringing up super chats here, Rick. Yes, indeed. Live from Studio 6B, 99 cents, Big D. Oh, big spender he always is. Yeah, anyway. Big 99 cents, Big D. Oh, I'm going to be in the front row of the garden with Tracy Morgan. Yakety yak. Les Durham comes in with $5 too. Slick Rick, here's $2 for one piece of mozzarella stick. I guess that's one each. He gave us $5. That's 2.5 sticks, Rick. 2.5 sticks? Yeah. Not bad. Thank you, Les Durham. We love the YouTube chat. What's going on in the Rumble chat? You check your Rumble folks out? I don't Rumble. I should, but, you know, how much can I do? I'm trying to do a live show. I check Rumble. I haven't even checked the Getter chat yet. They're going to be yelling at me. Oh, live from Studio Big. $1.99. Dallas Cowboys stink. What a great guy, huh? I tell you, man. Big D, have one of those banana splits there, will you? Anyway, good stuff. Cat SB, that is a tribute to you and Rick for having it all under control. Thank you, Cat SB. Another good follower in the YouTube. In the YouTubes, Rick. We got good YouTubers. Yep, 6B YouTube.
Up to the top of the hour. What?
You got reads.
Okay, thank you. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Damon's going to be joining us later on this hour.
He's already joined us in many ways.
He's going to be joining us from Nome. Let's see. Dish Network Channel 219, Pluto TV 240, Samsung TV Plus 1175, Roku TV. You can also catch the show on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Channel 106 on Select TV. And of course, if you're in the social media communities, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Kick Getter, Instagram at LFS6B Show. And of course, like and share the show as much as you can. We could use some more people checking us out and joining us, because the chats are always a good time, especially, always. You know, I'm usually focusing on the Rumble chat.
Yes.
And the Twixters. Slick is always focusing on YouTube. We kind of divide things up.
I'm the
trying to make
super
sure.
Chat. Slick Super Chat.
Yeah, trying to make sure we cover as many people as possible. Damon usually has all the feeds on his, trying to catch everything as possible. So, you know, we'll do our thing. Kentucky Hill Jill is over there on the Twix. Real Prince Doll. You know what? I haven't mentioned Real Prince Doll in a bit.
Yeah, he's been laying a little low.
But always a great follow, and always posting some funny stuff on his X. So you should follow Real Prince Doll as well as Farmer Brook, and you know, a lot of the Tree Finders in there. A lot of great people over there. The Real Bruce Lee. I love the Real Bruce Lee.
Oh yeah.
even the actor.
Exactly.
And of course, everybody in the Rumble. What do we got on? We got 1186 so far on Rumble tonight.
Yeah.
Let's see what we're doing over on.
We got 1100 in the YouTubes.
1741 over on the Twix. They're burning it up tonight. And what'd you say we have on the YouTubes?
1100 on the YouTube.
Nice. A lot of great people in there. Peggy P is in there. Looks like we got some super chats. Slick, you want to hit those real quick?
Well, I just came out of that, but yeah, super chats. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. We got live from Studio 6B, $1.99. Philadelphia Sixers will never win another game. Wow, boy, talk about Nostradamus. And we got William Kaufman, another $1. Thank you, William. Another one. Michael Robertson Sr., $2. Live from Studio 6B. I will appear after Delgado does 9 reads. I think we got that one already. But and who else did we have? I think I got another one there too in the back there. Nope, that's it. We got everybody.
All right, very good. And of course, if you're in there, we appreciate you guys checking out and checking in. Great communities too. A lot of the people, when they're not talking about the show or talking about what we're talking about, sometimes you can find recipes, what they're up to, what kind of shows they're watching when they're not watching Real America's Voice. So there's always some good stuff going on.
We get weather reports, right? Severe weather in Kansas. We got a tornado coming through. Boom, they're right in the chat telling us.
And you know what, too? And I've got to credit them, and it's tough sometimes to do it because, we're doing the show live, and things are constantly happening. Yeah. But a lot of times, you guys in the chats send us links to stories that maybe we haven't seen or that is just breaking news, which, if we have a chance to get to, we get to. And we appreciate it. So if you do see stuff like that, feel free and put those in the chat because it's tough to cover
we got
every single story
more
that's out
parts than a colonoscopy on this show. What are you talking about? We've always got a lot going on.
Now, speaking about a lot going on, we got to talk about this representative out of Texas. Her name, Jasmine Crockett. Of course, she's been lighting things up, talking about, of course, anything that doesn't have to do with the Democratic Party because she doesn't want to bring attention to, of course, how bad the Democratic Party is. But now she wants to make a name for herself. And you know what? As we've said for the last few weeks, keep talking. Bring it, honey. We love it. She's the representative out of Texas. Let me see exactly. She was first elected to office back in 2023. So she's a first time, I guess, representative. Let's see. U.S. House, Texas District 30 is where she is out of. But, of course, she's been making a name for herself. And earlier I called her an actress, Slick. And it's not because she's obviously a very attractive girl. I can say girl because I'm older than she is. Attractive woman, but she's not exactly who she puts herself out there to be. What do I mean by that? Well, if you've seen all the things she's done lately and all the things she said lately, let's go through a few of those so you can get in case you've missed any of her antics. Let's go to cut number. Let's see what she had to say about Ted Cruz. Here she is, cut number 12. Here's Jasmine Crockett, the representative out of Texas, calling for, you guessed it, violence against Ted Cruz. Cut number 12. Check this out.
I think that you punch. I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching. I think and I love Colin, and I think towards the end he started to punch a little harder. But it's Ted Cruz. I mean, this dude has to be knocked over the head hard, right? There is no niceties with him. At all. You go clean off on him, right?
Yeah. So there's Jasmine calling for a little violence.
You're allowed to do that, huh?
I guess so. That's what I guess that's the.
That seems like an ethics issue to me.
They call it the radical left for a reason, Slick, and it's because they love violence.
Yeah, they do.
Here she is, cut number 13, talking about somebody else she wants to inflict some damage on. Here's Jasmine Crockett, cut number 13.
On March 29th, it's my birthday. And all I want to see happen on my birthday is for Elon to be taken down. Yes.
Yeah. So now she wants to go after Ted Cruz. She wants to go after Elon Musk. That's a birthday present, according to, she's dog whistling out there.
Wow.
To the violent left. But, of course, she says stuff like that. And then, of course, she releases this quick statement, cut number 14, where she tries to walk it back a little bit. Cut 14, check this out.
Just in case the slow people listening decide to clip this up later, I just want to say that I have never promoted violence whatsoever.
Really?
News break. Are you kidding? Wow. These people are bananas.
I guess she's unaware of the fact that video kind of lives forever now.
Yeah.
And that we can play it back to back right in front of her.
Exactly.
So I don't know about you. I saw her.
That was pretty convincing.
Yeah, for her birthday to take down Elon Musk, whatever that means. That's a dog whistle for those on the left.
And of
course, Ted calling for Ted Cruz to be pounded over the head. All right. And then, of course, we go to cut number 8. Here she is talking about the Texas Governor Greg Abbott, and she had some colorful stuff to say about him. Cut number 8. Here she is, Jasmine Crockett.
Because we in these hot Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess, honey. So yes.
She's trying to do her Kamala Harris routine, right? Where she changes her accent up.
I noticed that.
Right? You notice that?
Yeah. Got real son.
Well, because it made me think about, I saw her when I've seen some clips of her before she decided to go down this road. And this road of, taking it to the streets, doing her Kamala Harris impersonation. And it's because I've seen this, and this is cut number 9. Here is Jasmine Crockett just before she ran for the House seat in Texas. Here she is giving an interview, Slick. Let me know how ghetto she sounds here. Cut number 9. Check this out.
Absolutely. First of all, it's good to see you in the new year. No one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress. It's just not what my plan was. But what I've always decided is that I would step up when there was a need. Listen, he up there, he's hearing all kinds of nonsense. And let me just be real. Wow. And we weren't going to sit for that. We wouldn't.
It's like two different people.
But when she called me and said, I think it's time for me to retire, and you're the one that I believe should take my seat, I really was kind of caught off guard. Really? I didn't anticipate that.
Kind of like us playing.
If anyone knows anything about the
like us playing all this video.
We showed up, and if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool shirts. The congressional seat is over 4 times as large as my House seat. And I was just starting to get into the rhythm of doing constituent services and things like that.
Yeah, so there you have it. Jasmine Crockett, before and after.
Wow.
What an amazing transition she made. She went from articulate, well-spoken, polite person.
Hence your description as an actress.
Right.
I see where you're going.
Going to, what we saw, calling for cursing it up, lighting it up with colorful language.
Yep.
And, of course, taking cracks at just about anybody she doesn't agree with, because that is the story of the left. Not only are these people fake, she is as fake as the news that they portray, but she's an actress. Give her a script, tell her how you want it to sound, say action, and she will light it up for you like she did. Again, let's play cut number 8 again. It's almost like they handed her the script saying, here, you're live on stage, really play this one up. Give us a little of your Kamala Harris. If Kamala Harris was in front of a Southern audience, cut number 8. Go, Jasmine, go.
Because we in these hot Texas streets, honey.
Yeah. Okay.
Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now.
Ooh, she really hit it on that one.
And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess, honey.
Yes. There you have it. Cut, print. Well, we're going to take that one.
Yeah, okay, you got it.
That's exactly who these people are. They're not genuine. They're not real. She's as fake as her eyelashes.
She's a crocker, right?
Right. She's a crocker. You know what?
Yep.
And that's what we're seeing across the board, because let's face it, Democrats today, they don't have anything. No. They've got no answers. They've got no solutions.
They got no game. They got no game.
And they've got no policy. Yeah. Ask them what they stand for. Well, we stand for the American people. Great. Right. So does everybody. What else you got?
Tampons in men's rooms.
Right, like tampons in men's rooms.
That's what we stand for.
We have fake accents. We got, of course, they learned it all from Hillary because she had her hot sauce in the purse.
Right.
Followed up with, of course, the last two idiots that were in the White House.
And Joe Biden with the bodega.
Right.
At the bodegas.
So that's who the leaders. You lump her in with the AOCs of the world. She was brought up in Westchester. She's not from the Bronx.
Westchester, yeah.
Yeah. She's not Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from the city streets. She's from Westchester. She was brought up in a very nice enclave of New York, north of the city. Away from all the pettiness and of course the poorness of the people she represents. Meanwhile, somehow she's got a portfolio that's now worth north of $10+ million. Yes, of course. This is who they are.
Yeah.
They're not real people. They are actresses. They're on the stage. They are putting on a show, and they just hope that there are enough suckers in the American on the American left that will buy it and keep pushing them further and further so they can continue to line their pockets. Jasmine Crockett, we have chosen you as our exposure for today. As you can tell, she is not the real person. So, next time you see Jasmine Crockett, just think about
Joy Reid.
Think about Kamala Harris. Think about Joy Reid. She's as fake as they get.
Yeah, Sailor Dude. She's Joy Reid's replacement.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We come back, we'll do some Slick Rick Sports. Maybe Damon will be here. Yeah. All right, we are now live in the chats, and Slick, you got a big super chat, right?
Yeah, Alice Nielsen, Alice Nielsen, DKK, $100 super chat. Great evening with LFS6B. Again, do one of you know where I can buy a Trump pen? Well, I got a Trump pen right here. Well, this is actually Paul Nolan's Trump pen, though. I can't sell it. Wow. Unbelievable.
We also have a $100 rant on Rumble.
Wow. Whoa. Let me get over there. Let me check it out. Wow, there is one. Holy moly.
Hey, Big D should stay home more often. We're making money, Big D. Come on.
WB1, $100 rant on Rumble. Love my Italian stallions. By the way, KT McFarland says the signal case is Tempest in a teapot. I'll take your word for that on WB1. We appreciate the $100 rant. Man, that's huge. Unfortunately, I'm not Italian. I'm a Puerto Rican. Slick is Italian. You're like all Italian, right?
No.
No? What?
I'm a bit of a. I got Amorati, the half the Italian name there. But then I got the Irish. I got a little Irish. I got a little French. I got a little English. Everybody's got a little.
That explains a lot.
I got a little American Indian, not like Pocahontas, but everybody. I think everybody's got a little of that in them.
Right.
But yeah, good stuff.
Yeah,
I'm a mixed bag. What can I tell you?
Puerto Rican and Spanish.
Okay.
That's where my parents are derived from.
That's a nice mix. A nice mix.
Which is why I'm taller than all my cousins.
Man, you don't speak one word of Spanish.
I don't speak. That's why I'm Puerto Rican, because I don't speak one word of Spanish.
That's okay, Rick.
I mean, I could curse at you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But that's about it.
Huh? Fortunately, you only need English for the two reads here.
Oh, good. Oh, that's right. We got reads. I should probably look for them.
I did send them to you.
I know.
Mr. AZ Mikey in the YouTube chat. Mutts unite, Rick Amorati. Yes, indeed.
All right. What else we got going on? We'll do some sports coming up here, right, Slick?
Yeah, we'll do a little sports. I'll get you.
And I don't know if Damon has joined us yet. Is he there yet?
No, he said he was getting ice cream.
Okay. All right, sounds like the Blues. And let's be honest, we're not getting any younger, are we, Slick?
No, we're not.
And if you want to look and feel your best, you need to check out these guys over at Pure Health Research. They have 45 premium health supplements designed to help with every health goal that you have, whether it's boosting your energy, trimming some belly fat, supporting healthy blood sugar, pumping up your testosterone, or even reducing swelling in your legs. Go to Pure Health Research. Grab their supplements on their supplement store because they've got you covered. Each formula is crafted with natural, non-GMO ingredients backed by clinical research and manufactured right here in the USA. And here's the best part. Pure Health Research is offering you an exclusive 35% discount. That's right, 35% discount. Just go to purehealthresearch.com. That's purehealthresearch.com. Use the coupon code 6B at checkout, and you will take advantage of that exclusive 35% discount with their 365-day money-back guarantee. There's absolutely zero risk in trying something new. So why wait? Head on over right now to purehealthresearch.com. Explore their 45 amazing supplements and save 35% before this deal ends with our coupon code 6B. That's coupon code 6B at checkout. Just go to purehealthresearch.com. Don't miss this chance to feel your best with purehealthresearch.com. Now, did you know you can join AMAC today for guess what? $1. That's right, $1, Slick. For a one-year membership, I want to encourage all of you guys out there to visit amac.us/Studio6B and activate this limited time opportunity. Just listen to all that you get for $1. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, works tirelessly to advocate for values that matter most to the Americans like you: small government, strong borders, election integrity, and protecting your constitutional rights. By becoming an AMAC member, it gives you access to free advice on Social Security, Medicare, and a whole lot more, ensuring you get the help that you need when you need it the most. And also as a member, they'll keep you informed with trusted news through AMAC's Newsline, the Better for America podcast, and your subscription to the award-winning AMAC magazine. You get a whole lot more as well. You'll also enjoy exclusive money-saving discounts on travel, hotels, insurance, restaurants, and a whole lot more. All you got to do is go there and join up. For a limited time, join AMAC. Receive all these benefits for just $1 for the first year. Normally $16. Take advantage of all the benefits and help save America for just $1. Join AMAC today. amac.us/Studio6B or call 888-262-2006. That's amac.us/Studio6B or call 888-262-2006. Join now and save America with AMAC. So there you have it. Yeah, AMAC's got a lot of stuff, and that's one of the great things. I know we've talked to those guys a bunch when they've come on, and they're always up to something. They're always looking to do more for their members, for the American people, for the country. So good on AMAC. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's jump over to some sports. Let's jump over to Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Slick, what do you got for us?
All right, Rick, we're going to steer this show in a new direction if you follow me here. Harris County, roping steers leaving Rodeo, Houston, get loose on I-45 near the Woodlands. How do you like that, Rick? KHOU reporting, and this was reported by Corey McCord. Houston, several roping steers got loose Monday afternoon in North Harris County, causing a big traffic backup. One of the steers was seen on Houston TransStar cameras dodging people and vehicles that were trying to corral it. Air 11 got over the scene, and several of the steers were seen roaming in the area. We have some footage. We have cut one. Roll that cut there, Aaron.
Check this out.
Look at this.
Oh, my goodness.
Good gravy.
They're chasing a steer with a car.
Yeah, well, he's running next to a Bronco.
Watch this.
Here we go. Oh, my goodness. Talking about dodging. Oh, man.
What is that cop thinking getting in front of a steer running right at you?
I don't know. Ole.
Yeah.
Man, oh, man.
It's like she tried to catch it.
This is unbelievable. Rodeo Houston in town. Of course, big rodeo. We've been reporting on it all week. I'm going to have an update tonight as well.
Look at this guy. He's going to try and catch one, too.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, good Lord. Wow.
They really run the risk of getting gored there.
It's not worth it. I mean, what are you going to do with this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. It's a convoy. We got ourselves a convoy. Big buck there. We got a Smokey coming down 15.
Now, these are steers that they're going to use at the rodeo, right?
Yeah, they got out. They got loose. Well, sure. They evaded. I wonder if the Frisky Chicken was one of those. Remember Frisky Chicken?
They should have just gotten some of the cowboys to rope them up.
That would have been good. Well, they evaded several vehicles in the main lanes, as we just saw, of I-45 at Spring Stubna Road. One of them was seen jumping the median to get to the other side of the freeway. That steer eventually made its way off the freeway and out of sight for the cameras. Look at it. This is like the O.J. movie.
Oh, my goodness.
Remember watching O.J. back in the day? Oh, there it is, right there.
Woo. He jumped the barrier. He's going across traffic.
Unbelievable. Look at this.
That is too funny.
This is unbelievable. I love it.
Oh, my goodness.
However, we don't want to see any animals get hurt here.
No, definitely not.
God, Lord, we don't want to see that. Oh, look at this. Man, oh, man.
Oh, that's the one that he made it into the woods. He's like, I'm out.
Man, he's gone. Look out. I'm sure, hopefully they herded them all up. According to Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, who posted his social media around 1:15, 3 of the steers have been caught and 2 northbound lanes of I-45 were reopened. Gonzalez said the HCSO livestock unit responded to the scene to help catch the animals. Well, now they brought some real guys in that could rope these guys. Earlier this month, a cow got loose at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Video showed the cow running away from the rodeo gates as people, they got to get their handle on these here, boy. Man, oh, man, good Lord. So, man, you think you got to worry about steering into a different lane. You got to worry about a steer running down your lane. Look out. Anyway, I don't know, Rick, would we continue with sports or just lay it all up there? What do you
finish up with sports.
All right, well, we're switching gears. Oh, boy. Maine Governor Janet Mills responds to Trump's demand for apology over trans athlete policies. Got a little contentious a couple of weeks ago. Of course, we heard about that. We played it on the show. Mills never once referred to the president by name in her response. This is Jack Thompson of Fox News reporting. President Donald Trump called for Maine Governor Janet Mills to apologize to him over her state's reluctance to follow his executive order to ban trans athletes from girls' sports over the weekend. And Mills has now responded without an apology. Mills spoke to reporters in Bangor on Monday, rebuffing Trump and insisting her state's reluctance to follow his executive order. It's rooted in the rule of law, quote there. My issue is about the rule of law, pure and simple, Mills said. It's not about transgender sports. It's about who makes the laws and who enforces the laws. I read the Constitution. The Constitution says that the president, the chief executive, shall take care of that the laws be faithfully executed. It doesn't allow him to make laws out of whole cloth by tweet or Instagram post or press release or executive order. Mills also condemned Trump for his stance on abortion and tariffs and never once referred to the president by name. We've seen policies that threaten women and girls across the country, Mills said. If the current occupant of the White House wants to protect women and girls, he should start by protecting the women and teenage girls who are suffering miscarriages and dying because they can't get basic life-saving health care in states across the country. This is the usual narrative we hear, of course. Look, the issue isn't about transgender sports. Yes, it is. People in Maine and across the country are waiting for an economic plan from the current occupant of the White House. Oh, they're waiting for an economic plan. We just got 4 years of her boy in there, and did we get any kind of plan? We didn't even have a plan on what was going to be served for lunch in the garden. What are you talking, Rose Garden? For God's sakes. Anyway, don't get me going. I'm not going to continue on this, Rick. I'm going to wrap it right there. This woman is out of her bird, and typical leftist policies, but you know how to get that in there. It did fall under the purview of sports.
All right.
I like that steer story much better. Well, that's a wrap there, cowboy.
Yeah, no bull from that steer story. All right.
Cowboys, look who just got in the screen.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look who's joining us there.
Yeah.
He went running wild himself for the last hour and a half, but now he's here. Hey, Damon, how are you?
I heard you were coming
What's up, boys? What's up, boys? Thanks for holding it down. My wife was honored tonight at her school district.
Congratulations.
And of course,
congrats.
Sure.
It was supposed to be last month, which I think you guys knew that at the time, and then they canceled it because not enough of the people they invited could show up. And so they moved it to this month, but they forgot to send me the old reminder text. And then my son walked in around 5:30 and said, Dad, Mom's thing is tonight. And I went, uh-oh.
Maybe they didn't want you there.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Damon is joining us for the last half of the second hour. We'll take a quick break. We come back. We'll do some news.
He's bringing in the rear. I mean, steer. The footage on that was excellent.
Wasn't that great?
Oh, those clips were great. That story just rolled. Then I talked about the guy jumping over the one steer jumping over the median, and boom, there he goes.
Yeah, there he went.
I was lucky timing.
What's up, Dame?
What's up, boys?
Having fun. A lot of super chats tonight, Big D. We got a couple of $100 tonight. They're going crazy.
I noticed somebody sending super chats, Slick, taking shots at your team.
Oh, yeah. These trolls, what do you got to live with them?
You don't need a super chat to take shots at his team. No, just take shots.
Just take shots.
And they were using the moniker LFS6B, which was, I don't know how they're pulling that off. That's pretty amazing.
Oh, Larry Pitts in the super chat, $9.99. Have you seen the interview on the podcast Redacted with the former Congressman Kurt Weldon, stating that 9/11 was an inside job?
Oh, don't even get us started. Building
please.
7.
So much will be happening. Yeah, so Larry Pitts, thank you very much for the $9.99. Yep, Damon's kicking shots. Inside joke. Here we go.
Oh, please.
What? I didn't say a word about Building 7. What?
Big D in the YouTube chat, Mrs. B, Damon, your wife is priority. That's right. No truer words spoken there. Thank you very much.
Well, they did a really nice job honoring her.
Oh.
I mean, and she had no idea it was coming.
Yeah, well, she
thought, because she works with the kids, she teaches the life skills program, and she takes these kids out into the community to try to teach them the most basic stuff. So, how to shop, how to this, how to that. So they had all of her job sites that she goes to. The district honored all the owners of the job sites, Panera Bread, ShopRite, all the places where she works with the kids. They all got honored tonight. And then she didn't know she was the real big honoree, which she had no idea was coming. So they did a nice job.
Nice.
Well, good. Congrats.
Maybe she could tutor Delgado on the side. Take him out to shop.
The hell's that supposed to be?
You know what it means.
No, I don't.
I've been out with you. Come on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do.
I do fine.
Yes, you do.
Look, I put this T-shirt on all by myself.
I saw that.
That's the problem.
Exactly. Oh, man. I'll tell you. Damon, you're so mean to Rick Delgado. You and
I know.
We really.
Oh, God.
We already did the Epstein update. You missed it.
Yeah, we did. I called for it, Big D. I played Big D for a minute. I asked him for an Epstein update.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
He was all depressed and everything. He took off his shoes and he asked me.
Yep,
awesome.
I did. Zelensky dresses though.
Hey. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Look who's joining us from home. Damon's joining us tonight, of course. How are you there, sir?
What's up, boys? Very good, very good. Thanks for having me in for the last half hour here of the show. Thanks for holding it down. I was listening in the car. My son was actually driving, so I had a chance to sit in the passenger seat and just listen and
freak out. Were you like holding on tight?
Maybe do some texting. No, he's good. No, he's a good driver. Unfortunately, he's already picked up some of dear old Dad's greatest hits on the road, but there's not much I can do about that. Cursing at the people at the left lane who are there doing 18 miles an hour.
Oh yeah,
is a problem.
To drive with Big D is an adventure. An adventure.
Oh, come on.
I've never done it.
Yeah.
You've done it? You've done it? I've never done it.
He has more tailgates than halftime at a college football game. What are you talking about, man?
Yeah. Well, he's a good driver, and I agree with him. These people shouldn't, you should start out the day with a certain number of marbles, and every time you do something wrong, you turn in a marble. When you're out of marbles, you have to go home. That's the way it should be for these drivers, and they should that's it. Just get out, get off the road. You don't deserve, you just get off the road. So that's the way it goes. But school district did a nice job with my wife tonight. She was honored for her work with her life skills program with kids with special needs, and she takes them out into the community every day of the week, and she teaches them to do the basics that they're going to need to, once they move out of the program. A lot of these kids, it's really a sad situation. She gets to keep them a little longer than obviously normal high school kids. Every state has their rule on, whether it's the 22nd birthday, 23rd birthday. But a lot of them, once they hit that time, they just have no idea where they're going to go. They just, they just don't have the skills, most of them, to live on their own. The parents are working, probably 2 full-time jobs. They don't, and so these poor kids, they just, they don't know what they're going to do. There's no transition really from there to whatever the rest of life is going to be. So while she has them, she takes them out into the community, tries to teach them the basics that they're going to need to know: how to go shopping, how to go to work, how to work at Panera Bread, how to fold clothes at Target, how to shop at ShopRite, how to fill the bags at ShopRite. So she's got all these Texas Roadhouse. She's got all the Greek place. She's got all these places that she works. And so the district tonight honored all of the owners of all these places that are nice enough. And it's a great community. Mm-hmm. They're very welcoming, and they all, they support the school, they support the teachers, they support the kids, and they support her. It's her program, really. And she's got kids everywhere, every day, multiple places, and she's got assistants, and they honored them. But what she didn't know is they were going to honor her, and they did. After they honored all the owners, they honored her. And it was they did a really nice job. She was shocked and pretty emotional, and me and my son got to go. And now, it was really nice. Did she realize you were going, or did you guys kind of slide in? No, we slid in just as she went up there.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
Yeah. And then the guy pointed us out in the back because he knew we were going to be there because he was the one who set it up with me. So her administrator, like her boss kind of. So they did a nice job. It was very nice. And she deserves it because the work she does with these kids is unbelievable.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that. Well, like he said, these kids are, once they're released and they're outside of that system, it's almost like they're fending for themselves, and they got to start from scratch.
Yep. Yeah, it's sad, and she has her administration degree, and I think someday she may use it. I don't know if she'll use it or not because she loves teaching when she loves being with the kids. But I know one of the things she's passionate about is that transition and where do they go after high school, and how can we affect change from high school to whatever the rest of life looks like, especially given, like I said, most of these kids, the home life is. Even if it's good, both parents work probably multiple jobs and are not there. So what do these poor kids do at home all day by themselves? So it's a problem. She's passionate about it, though. So she'll continue to do what she's doing, and then we'll see after that.
And I'm glad to see this program still going because about 8-9 years ago when I had the pharmacy, I was one of those businesses that was honored in the school district by us. We had a transition program, and we had the same situation. And by the end of the course, we had kids that could barely even function, actually ringing up customers, doing transactions. My mom absolutely loved it. So I was on the other side as the business that was willing to open the door because not every business is willing to do that. Yeah. Me, I jumped on it because, like Big D, his wife, I have that same kind of passion or compassion for these young people. And, listen, it's the smallest thing sometimes that they take with them forever. So congratulations to your wife, Big D. And, and as being on the other side of it, it was really a blessing.
Yeah, no, it's something else. She's something else.
Well, cool. And again, congrats. Yes. That's glad we could hold down the fort for you while you're off experiencing.
I appreciate it, especially on short notice because it did kind of get screwed up where her boss was supposed to send me a reminder yesterday, remind me it was tonight, and my son came in the studio and said, "Hey, Dad, Mom's thing is tonight?" And I went, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's tonight. Remember, they moved it from last month." I was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah. Who was the teacher, Harry? That's why he communicates.
Anyhow, well, that's great news, and again, congratulations to your wife, and send her our best as well, because that's a big job. Probably goes unappreciated. Totally.
She doesn't go underappreciated. I think maybe sometimes she feels like she does, but I think I think people in the district know. I mean, the superintendent, the speech he gave tonight was pretty special about how long they looked for someone to lead this program and what it takes to do it. And when they finally, when she walked in the door, I mean, he gave a really nice speech. I mean, she's been doing it she's been there a long time now. So she's made a difference in a lot of kids' lives.
Well, that's great. That's awesome. Well, and again, give her all our best, because it sounds like she does a great job for these kids that need it.
Yeah. Yes. So did you guys talk any more about Signalgate and what do we think?
Yeah, we covered that probably at the top of the show.
Yep.
What did you take away? Because from what I heard, and we talked about this a little bit, they talked about how the Signal app was, I guess, something that's standard for all of them now. In the government, that they can use it. It comes on their device, the device that they give them, that the Signal app is there for them, which was surprising to hear. But what was your takeaway? I mean, when we talked about Trump saying, he learned his lesson, and he's not going to fire the guy.
On Waltz, yeah, and that's fine. But I don't know. It's weird. I've looked. I listened to Waltz tonight. He was on with Laura Ingraham, and I listened to some other people today. And last night I thought the chances of it just being a stupid mistake were pretty high, and today I feel like the chances of it being a stupid mistake, an innocent mistake, are pretty low. I don't know why. I just feel like. And I don't know who I would point the finger at, but it almost seems like when Waltz says he's never spoken with Jeffrey Goldberg, and he certainly would not have him in his phone, then I start to think, well, is there an operative here on the inside who was looking to embarrass the administration? Because I don't know. It doesn't seem maybe as innocent. I thought Pete Hegseth's thing last night in the tarmac was probably the worst moment. I didn't think that was necessary. Probably should have just kept his mouth shut. I don't know. I don't know. I think the chances of it being an innocent mistake are probably low. And then it was this guy deliberately got on there somehow. Either somebody, I just don't know who you'd point the finger at the group of people who were on there. That's the problem.
Right. Well, it seemed, and correct me if you've heard different, it seemed like Waltz was in charge of setting up that group, because he seems to be the one that's like falling on the sword saying, I apologize. I don't even know this guy. So maybe, again, with these devices that they're handed, maybe it was somebody, one of these embedded jackasses from the previous administration, like, oh, I'm going to screw this guy good. I'm going to slide this number in here. He's never going to notice it. Again, you got people coming in to a job, to a situation where they have to trust the people that are working with them.
Yeah.
To lead them in the right direction. Yep. And then something as simple as here's your device, sir. Just use this. Click for all these people to join your chat, and you're good to go. And it's all secure.
Yeah.
It could be something like that, where now they're going to find out who gave me this device, who loaded it, who preloaded this guy's name and number on there, and then they find that person.
Yep.
I'm kind of leaning towards security breach. I think the fact that Waltz went to Elon, or somebody went to Elon and said, try to figure this out, makes me think that I'm leaning towards security breach with somebody who's partisan, who was looking to embarrass the administration, more than just Waltz thinking he's adding, John Gordon, and he adds, Goldberg from the Atlanta. I'm not buying that.
All right. Well, that's one way of looking at it. So I guess we'll find out. And again, if he's going to Elon and said, do some hack into this thing and find out, I'm sure they could figure it out. They seem to be able to figure out a lot of things. What are your thoughts now as day 2 of Susan Monterez Gate continues? Because I got to tell you, last night when you announced this, I got onto Truth Social and got onto President Trump's announcement. And, said, yikes, terrible call. You might as well bring on Fauci if you're going to do this. I think that's the most reaction I've ever gotten to anything I've done on Truth. So I think people are responding, and I think they're seeing her for what she is, the way you pointed it out, and the way we kind of pointed it out last night.
It's a horrendous pick. There's no pick that could be justified when you have Lebedo sitting there in Florida ready to go. There's nobody you could pick that, at least for me, and for those of us who followed COVID, who lived through all of this, who lived through all of the nonsense, who lived through all of and then post-COVID, what was going on in these states, It's one of the reasons one of the whole reasons we started to say the whole idea, if we can't make red states as red as they can make blue states blue, was due to all of the COVID nonsense that went on. I mean, just the whole medical tyranny that never ended. The one place it never lived was in Florida. And yes, partly because of the governor, but a lot of it because of Lebedo. What he did in there, he has done on the medical side what the governor has done on the legislative side. He has pushed back against every medical individual tyranny that has been tried to be put upon the people. He has pushed back. So there was no pick that you were going to make that was going to be at least satisfy someone like me who was hoping and pushing for him. But putting that aside, to pick an Obama, Biden, former personnel. I mean, this woman worked for Biden as deputy director of the Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health from 23 to 25. She worked for Obama in the White House, shaping national health security plans. There's no way that person can be your pick. I'm sorry. There's just no way.
Yeah.
I don't care what they say the qualifications are or what the reason they looked at her. She is a horrendous pick.
Yeah, and you wonder who is the person who brought her to the president's attention. Said, "Oh, she'll get the votes. She'll be great." You wonder who that person is. So, all right, we'll take a quick break. We come back, final segment of the show. We'll do some more sports with Slick Rick as well. We just need you guys to hang with us. We'll see you in the chats live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there.
All right, another big YouTube super chat. This would be the second $100 super chat, making $200 for the night for Alice Nielsen. I hope I'm saying that right. Alice
my goodness.
Nielsen. Sounds Swedish or some type of, Nordic name. Slick, I mean a real pen. That's why I name it Trump Pen. Stay cool, and thank you all again. So I think what Alice Nielsen is asking for is a Trump pen that he signs his executive orders with,
okay.
which we'd all like to get one of those pens.
Yeah,
That's
no kidding.
nice signature, and those are probably treasured gifts to get one of those, especially one that actually signed an executive order, right? Like all those kids got the one there for keeping men out of women's sports. That was a fantastic thing. Well, he must have given out 100 pens. I'm sure we can get our hands on one of those pens somewhere, but I don't know whether or not it had been signed. But hey, it's okay.
Yeah, Jalen12 in the Rumble chat. Same thing I asked as well, and Brownie Boy wants to know who was the person that programmed that device. If Waltz indeed was the one who set up that call, who programmed the device that included Goldberg in that on that list? And you wonder if Waltz was kind of handed the device saying, "Okay, get everybody on," and this person just. Kind of like Mike Waltz didn't actually press all the buttons, but he relied on a staffer to say, okay, set up that call. Let me know when everybody's ready to go. That kind of thing. I think that's probably where this could be headed. So a lot of people, Damon in the Rumble chat also saying congratulations to your wife.
Thank you very much.
God bless her. Congratulations. Look at that.
I heard you doing the story on Bobby Hurley, Dan Hurley's Slick. Is that the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? They're going to open an investigation? I mean, how ridiculous. What is the world coming to? I mean, give me a break.
Can't say anything.
An investigation into what? Him swearing? Him dropping the F-bomb? Who cares?
I think it's the threat.
Well, you know what it is? I think it's because he mentioned the refs, right?
I hope the refs don't F you like they F'd us. That's a threat. That's a fact.
Yep. The Baylor Bears.
I mean, look at the beginning of that St. John's Arkansas game. What, 30 fouls in the first 4 minutes?
St. John's should have...
30 whistles? Ridiculous.
Terrible game to begin with. Almost Bears that Islander lost last night. Called that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was in a bad mood last night.
live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Slick Rick is going to have his final sports segment of the evening. Damon joining us from home as well. We'll go to him because I know you were probably busy today thinking, I got to get ready for show, and all of a sudden you got to race out to your wife's stuff. So I know you've got some stuff that you want to cover, but let's do some sports real quick with Slick Rick first. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout and save a ton of money on some great stuff from Mike and the people at mypillow.com. Slick, what do you got for us?
All right, one more quick sweep of the scoreboard. Rick, to the ice we go. NHL action. Blues right now. Sound like the Blues right there, leading the Canadiens 4-1, end of 2. Also end of 2, the Golden Knights blanking the Wild in Minnesota. Jets lead the Capitals 2-1, end of 2 there. End of 1, Avalanche over the Red Wings 2-1. Flames 1-0 over the Kraken, end of 1. Finals from earlier tonight. The Sabres down the Senators 3-2. Maple Leafs maul the Flyers 7-2. Lightning pound the Penguins 6-1. And Predators hop over the Hurricanes 3-1. Rangers and Kings coming up out west. Rick Delgado will be staying up late to watch that game. 10:30 puck drop. NBA action. I'll just give you a quick score. Let's get to the Cavaliers and Trailblazers. That's coming up at 10. Knicks with a big win in the Garden. 128-113 over the Dallas Mavericks, Rick. I know that would make you smile. And, well, let me just get a quick run. Wouldn't be justice. We played those clips of Rodeo Houston. Let me give you a little Rodeo Houston before I wrap up my night. We go bareback riding, Houston, Texas, NRG Stadium. This is Super Series 5, Round 3. Bear with me. We got a tie. Mason Clements on Survey Championship Rodeo's Small Town Scandal, and R.C. Landingham on Organic Outlaw, 82.5 points, $2,500 each. Steer Wrestling. Here we go, Big D. Scott Gunther, 4 seconds, three G's there. Team roping. I'm going to do 2 more, Rick, and give it back to you. We got third round, and we got Pedro Agarola and Justin Davis, 5.5 seconds. And Saddle Bronc. Let's go. Saddle it up. Let's get it rocking. Super Series 5, Round 3. Cole Elshere. And with the steers running elsewhere, 83.5 points on Calgary Stampedes, borderline untimely. Yeah, I got a good one there, $3,000. And that's a wrap in sports. Rick, back to you.
All right, thank you, Slick. And again, Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Real quick, WB1 in the Rumble chat said RFK Jr. said he was the one that submitted her name to the president. So I wonder if that's I didn't see that anywhere. Yeah. So we'll have to dig deeper onto that one. But until then, we'll try that for tomorrow. I'll try and get more information on that. Damon, what do you have? Because I know you were busy today.
Well, first of all, that's a huge surprise. I mean, as much as surprises the mRNA vaccines are not off the market yet with him being in charge, that's also a surprise. But maybe we're just going to be in for surprises there. I'm not sure. A couple things caught my attention today, honestly, and a lot of them still get around this Waltz thing. I saw Sean Davis at the Federalist bring something up, and I thought, that's an interesting part. And his basic idea was to say that maybe it's kind of why I've changed my tune to, last night, stupid mistake, and the response was even worse, to more now thinking about it. And he said, what if the entire purpose of this whole Jeffrey Goldberg Atlantic thing was to create some kind of pretext to ban Signal, this encrypted messaging to messaging app? Because, again, as much as it's great for, I think, the commoner, if we want to text our friends and make sure that no one else who grabs our phone can ever see what we're texting, right, it's great for that. But to be doing high-level government business on it, I'm not so sure how far you can push the boundaries there. But he basically said, what if this was like a pretext to create a way to ban Signal now, enforce all communications back onto some government entity where the bureaucrats can get back at it and start leaking like they did in Trump 1.0 in 16, 18, 17, 18, 19, because maybe they're having a harder time doing that now. And this whole thing is some pretext to get all communications back onto channels that can be accessed by the intel bureaucrats who, want to leak to their friends in the media. And honestly, I didn't think that was all that far-fetched the more I thought about it.
No. So you're going down the conspiracy road. I like it.
Well, I don't know if it's a conspiracy. I just think if you're going to play the odds here on this thing, I don't know. The odds to me are very low that Mike Waltz went to, again, I don't know who a JG would be, put on, Commander John Gordon and ended up putting on Jeffrey Gold. I just think the chances of that after listening to him tonight on Ingram are very low. So how does this guy this guy of all guys, the biggest Trump-hating, Trump-wishing failure magazine and their editor-in-chief, a guy who's peddled in every conspiracy nonsense there is, how does this guy get to be the guy? It just doesn't seem like it's an innocent mistake. So that's number one.
So you're calling shenanigans on that one.
Yeah, I just think if you're going to play the odds out, you can't come to the odds are greater that it's an innocent mistake. The odds are much greater that it's a nefarious insider who wanted to embarrass the administration. And like you said, maybe it's a holdover, somebody who forced put it in there and then never didn't bring it to someone's attention and the guy got added on. I don't know, but I think the odds of that are greater than the odds that he just did that.
Right, gotcha.
The other thing that caught my attention was an article today in the Federalist, and given the tyranny we're seeing with judicial tyranny we're seeing all over the country when it comes to this administration, this headline kind of caught my attention. And the headline is, a third of all D.C. district judges were not born in the United States. Does that shock you?
What?
Yes.
Yes, it did me as well.
Yes.
All of the judges in the U.S., all 5 foreign-born judges of the D.C. court managed to get their fingerprints on controversial Trump cases. The United States District Court for the District of Columbia, the source of many of the cases interfering with President Donald Trump's authority, has 15 judges, and 5 of them were born outside the U.S. While country of origin doesn't come up in most jobs, it's worth asking if judges with ties to foreign nations and cultures are the right ones to make decisions affecting the U.S. military or immigration. The concept of a foreign-born judge is a newer phenomenon in the D.C. district. In addition to the 15 main judges, the D.C. district has 10 older senior judges who still occasionally hear cases in the district. This group, nominated as far back as Ronald Reagan, the 1980s, were all born in the U.S. But starting in 2014, under President Obama, appointed Judge Tanya Chutkin, born in Kingston, Jamaica. She was in the U.S. by 1979, attending George Washington University. Before sitting on federal court, she had no experience as a judge. Obama also appointed Judge Amit Mehta to the D.C. court. Mehta also had no previous experience as a judge. The other 3 foreign-born judges were nominated by former President Joe Biden. So, you see that headline, it's just shocking that a third of all the judges on the D.C. District Court weren't born in the U.S., and they're the majority of the ones who are getting these cases that are making decisions for 330 million people. That's shocking.
Yeah, and you know what? And I don't think it's a mistake either.
No, absolutely not.
I think this is by design.
Oh man!
When you say, look who's gotten selected for this case over that case.
That is stunning. It's stunning. I have not heard that.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I did.
And then the other thing I noticed today, and I know you covered it extensively, was really the disgusting comment by Jasmine Crockett on the governor, the paralyzed governor of Texas in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
When a tree fell on him, basically when I think he was 26.
Right.
To call him Governor Hot Wheels or whatever it was just reprehensible. But she's pretty reprehensible.
Yes, she is. All right. Well, thank you, Damon. We appreciate it. And thank you all for watching. Man, quick show, wrapping it up. As always, we salute our military, active and retired, our first responders, EMTs, firefighters, police, Border Patrol, everybody, ICE working the front lines. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you and everything that you do. Of course, Slick Rick and his shoes. Damon joining us from home. Fran and Aaron in the booth. And, of course, everybody in the chats. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Have a safe night. Have a great night. We will see you tomorrow, Wednesday night. Till then, have a great evening.